Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Torch Tales, Stories Behind the Hood. I'm your host, Frank Vargas, aka Traveling Frankie. Today I find myself in Ocala, Florida. For those of you that don't know where that is, Google it. I don't have time to explain it. Anyway, I'm here with Jade Sites. I'm going to say that she's a welder, metal fabricator, metal artist, but we're going to touch on every one of those. I'm very grateful for two reasons. Not only because, of course, she said yes to sitting down, but because this is the second time around. We had done a virtual conversation, but you guys know that if I have a chance, I prefer to do face-to-face. Here I am at her house, her shop. So thank you, Jade, for saying yes.
Yeah, of course.
Again.
Yeah.
And so tell me exactly where we are, even though I just told people that, Google the hell of it.
Pretty much Central Florida. It's like the capital of Horseville, pretty much. Like horses just run this place.
That is true. If you ever stay in Ocala, especially in downtown, everything's about horses, statues, and the pavement, everything. There's a story. Do you even know why?
I have no idea. I mean, we have like the World Equestrian Center, and then, I mean, it's like the CVS on every corner. No, we have horses on every corner.
Well, there you go. If that's your thing, you know where you need to be then. And that's, so how long have you been here in Ocala?
I've been here for about 2 years now.
2 years?
Yep.
And before that, you came from?
Well, I was born in West Virginia.
Okay.
So I moved to Fort Pierce, Florida when I was 15 with my mom. And then finished out high school in Fort Pierce. Then I decided to go to Daytona State. So I lived in Daytona Beach for a while. Well, for about 7 months to a year. Then I moved to Tampa. Got my first job out in Tampa, and then after about a year in Tampa, I said, absolutely not. I'm never going back to Tampa and live there again.
Well, really? Come on. Yeah.
And then I came back to Fort Pierce, and now I'm here.
Gotcha. So at 15, you left Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of kid were you? Because now you are right on the verge of, teenager already. We all going crazy at that stage.
Yes.
So who was Jade back then?
A little, like, pretty much country girl.
Okay.
I lived in the Hicks of West Virginia, and then, but art's always been my thing. Like,
Art.
I've been doodling on desks my entire life. And
Really?
yeah, I would always carry a sketch pad around with me, and art was pretty much me the entire time.
So you thought that was going to be an avenue for you? Like you thought that, hey, maybe something related to art, it's what I want to do, or that was just a hobby, something that your left side of the brain was just on?
Well, like being dyslexic, like I never clicked with like any kind of like critical schoolwork. Like that was just terrible for me.
Okay.
So I thought art was kind of like my only way out of like getting out of it. And then everybody I talked to is like, really? You want to get an art degree?
Yeah.
Like and starve?
Yeah, you know that doesn't pay.
Yeah,
It's like marine biology. Like, oh, yeah, you're not getting paid.
Yeah, you're not getting paid to do it. And I was like, so then I had like no idea. I had no idea.
Because all the marbles were on that basket.
Yeah, and I was like, what?
Now what?
Nothing. Like I didn't want to go to a 4-year college.
Yeah.
Like I did not want to do the schooling all over again. So then like randomly my neighbor's like welding, and I'm like,
your neighbor in Fort Pierce?
yeah, my neighbor in Fort Pierce.
Gotcha.
She was like an old school counselor.
Okay.
So she like kind of like helped me kind of figure out my path because my mom had no idea what I wanted to do either. She's like,
but you know what? At least, and I give credit when credit's due. Knowing what you don't want to do, it's also a stress reliever. Meaning, you know that you didn't want to go back to school and do whatever the 4 years. So that, hey, let's not waste time on that.
Right.
Because you see so many people that go back or stay the course, wasted 8 years to not do what they were there for.
or they wake up every day hating their life. Yeah,
exactly. So, and I mean, that's kudos to you on that side. So welding, this neighbor goes, have you ever tried a welding? Do you know what welding is? What was your take? What was your opinion or your comments when she brought that up?
Well, like, my stepfamily owned a carnival, so I was like kind of around it, and I like looked at it, but I like...
Carnival, hold on, wait. You cannot just say that and just like, next.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah, so my stepdad, before he got into like the inspection and like NDT and all that, his family owned a carnival and like traveled around and with like carnivals and were carnies and stuff. So my stepsister and my brother-in-law, they did it while I was all through high school, so I worked through them like on the weekends and like when they were there.
So they needed to be, things needed to be fixed,
I'd
things
be, like,
break,
gates and welded, like gates and fences need to be welded back together. So like I watched it happen and I was like, but I didn't really know what it was,
Got it.
So like I tried it a few times. I was like, yeah, I guess this is pretty cool. And then my neighbor mentioned it and I was like, I guess I never really thought of it as like a career path.
So what was the next step? You know, she mentioned it. Now you're like, okay, I guess. What did you do next?
My mom took some time to come around, realizing that I wanted to be in such a male-dominated field.
Oh, now I get the Okay,
Yep.
we'll get back to yeah. Yep.
So I was like, she was like, well, why don't we just go tour some schools? So I was like, all right. So we went to Daytona State.
Okay.
And I met Tim Colburn was my welding instructor. And
So at this stage you are 16, 17?
17, yep.
17, okay.
And he told me everything, but he was just direct and honest, like very transparent about everything. Was like, this isn't an easy field. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want easy. I want challenging. I want something that like works my brain every single day. And I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
So I graduated high school, and my course started a couple months later. And then we ran 60-10 my first day, and I fell in love with it.
Really?
Yep.
Now, you are 17, 18 and taking these classes, and I'm guessing how many students you think were there when you were there?
In my program, there was probably, I don't know, 12, 13
Out
of
of
us.
those 12, 13, how many women?
3.
3.
Yep.
Do you know if those women are still in it? Did you ever keep contact?
I did.
Yeah.
One, she lives in like, I don't know, like Kansas, Nebraska, one of those. And she still does it. But I'm still really good friends with, she like started to move in with me, so she's pretty much my college roommate.
Okay.
And she did it as just like a hobby thing, so she's still a bartender.
Gotcha. All right. Hey, you know, still money.
Yeah.
Yep. So now, when you started taking the classes, and you were okay, I see that process. I see this other process and all that. Right there, you got hooked. Like you knew that okay, I can make a living with this, or this is what I'm going to do, or try to make a living with.
It wasn't like I knew I could make a living with. This is like what I want to try to make a living with.
Okay.
I was like, it hurt at first because, you know, 60-10 is not very fun to weld. But yeah, I just knew, like, I was like, this is what I want to do. And then they started talking about, like, blueprints and all this stuff I can make. And then my other instructor, she started with, like, the metal art. And I didn't even realize, like, people actually did that when I first started.
Gotcha.
I mean, I've seen the sculptures and stuff.
It was fabrication. It was, you know, follow this blueprint kind
Right.
of thing that what you were
And then
first exposed to.
she brought in her stuff, and I was like, hold on.
Wait, what?
I can make stuff out of,
Yeah.
like,
I
dumb
can
metal.
bend stuff and yeah.
Yeah. So then I started making stuff, like made all the Christmas presents when I first started, and I was like, this is exactly what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Now, so the first job you got after school, what was that job?
I built like bleachers and like grandstands.
Okay. Are they still holding up? You know.
As far as I know, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, was that a company up in Fort Pierce?
No, that was a company in Plant City.
Okay, got it. So you moved to Plant City too, or?
Yep, I moved to like Steffner area.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what processes? So a lot of aluminum, I guess, and.
I was on the aluminum side.
Got it.
Yep.
And how was your? Did you think you were good at that right from the get-go?
No.
No.
I don't even know how they hired me after my weld test I took.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was not a good
It was
one?
bad. Like, it was so bad.
Yeah, it's like, hey, she's breathing, and she said she showed up.
Yeah, so she's fine, whatever.
That's funny. Now, how long did you think that it took you to actually get decent at it?
It was funny. That one was like my first job, my first aluminum, and I was like, I hate it. I hate everything about aluminum. I never want to go back.
Look at that big hole I made.
Yeah, they're like, this is terrible. And I was like, so then I bounced around a little bit, like trying to find my niche and like what I really like. So I stuck with steel most of my time.
Okay.
And then after, I guess 3 years, I went back to aluminum, and then I fell in love with it. And I was like,
Really?
I was like, coming from a girl that literally said I would never touch aluminum again.
You know, it's we get older and wiser. Not my case, but whatever. So after that job, where did you go next?
I went to 2 different shops. I made bike racks.
Okay.
It's like cool custom bike racks, you know,
Gotcha.
like the ones that are in parks and stuff. And
So
then
regular steel.
yeah, regular steel. And then I did like laundry and garbage chutes.
You mean like the
Like
ones
ones
with
that
all
go-
the holes? Well,
Like the ones that they have like the laundry chute in like hotels and stuff.
oh, I see.
Yep.
Gotcha. So were you doing TIG on that?
No,
Or
that
MIG?
was MIG.
That
That
was
was all
MIG?
MIG, yeah.
Well, I guess, yeah, they don't need to.
It doesn't look
hitting
pretty.
somewhere.
It
Yeah,
doesn't-
exactly. Yeah. I forgot where it's set. Yeah. All right. So now you have a couple of things under your belt, and you are feeling more confident about your skills. At that moment, that's it. You are in. This is what I'm doing.
Yep.
All right. And then you're still making art.
I I wasn't really like, I didn't have a shop at the time, like,
Okay.
but I finally bought my first machine when I lived over in Tampa.
Which machine?
I bought my Weld Pro.
Okay.
I
All
forget
right.
the actual name of it. It's
Whatever.
from Amazon.
It's a
but
black one with
yeah,
yellow letters, I
yeah,
think,
whatever.
yeah.
And then I started making stuff with like nuts and bolts and like
Okay.
silverware and like stuff like that. So I was like, I was just like deep diving into it. It didn't
So
really
so
take much.
that's a good thing for you to say, because I usually, whenever I'm out of school, I'm telling people like, hey, if you're thinking about going into the welding industry, just don't spend that much money yet, because you don't know if you're going to like it. You don't know if you're really going to stick to it and
Oh, yeah.
stay on it. So just buy a $200
Harbor
machine or
Freight
whatever the
welder,
hell,
yeah.
Harbor Freight. See if you really are into it, and then you can just grow. Because I know a couple of people that went all
out,
in.
Yeah.
Like, oh, $7,000 in right off the bat, and then 12 months later they're painting houses.
Yeah.
So again, so you thought that you got everything you wanted out of that one machine, inexpensive machine?
Yeah,
It
wasn't
did
that
the trick,
expensive.
right?
Yeah, I mean, it did all three.
It was a multi-process? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I was like, I rented a bottle from Airgas, didn't buy one right off the bat.
Yeah.
And then they came and picked it up, refilled it. It was great. you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh, look at that.
I know. I was
Yeah.
like, yay.
One bottle service.
Yeah, pretty much.
So now when you are, how long did it take you to start taking your art more seriously? Even though I know that you've taken breaks and so on. But when did you really start, you know what, I'm going to start making stuff that says this is Jade, and see if I can sell them?
Actually, it wasn't too long ago. Probably about 2 years now when I really started. Like, I was like, I need to get back into art, because I paint and I draw and I do photography and stuff. And I was like, but my problem was I am so new at it, so it's more of like a see if this works kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And what is your calling when it came to making art out of metal? What was the one thing that people would see and go, oh yeah, that's Jade? Like, what was your...
I mean, most people, if you've met me, I'm super spooky. So like anything like bats, pumpkins, skeletons, like that's like what I love building.
Okay, so Halloween is your...
Halloween's my thing.
Yeah.
Like my house inside is completely decorated for Halloween year round. Like my bats have Christmas hats on them.
You can't make that up, guys.
You can't.
Alrighty, so you start making that kind of thing. So now you go like, oh cool, I can make a bat, I can make, whatever, a witch or something. Who are you going to sell that to and how?
I just started posting like most of my stuff on like Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
And some of it would sell, some of it wouldn't.
Yeah,
I
of
started
course.
donating some of it to like businesses, or
Yeah.
I was like, I think this would be great in your store or your
Yeah.
shop or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, that's awesome. So I honestly
That's
haven't.
awesome for free.
Yeah, it's awesome for free. I was like, honestly, I haven't made too much money off of my weld art,
Yeah.
which I don't expect it right off the bat. I
Correct.
just love making it.
Correct,
It makes
yeah.
me happy.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it lets you disconnect from the regular, right side of the brain, and just do the left and so on. But so now, what do you do now?
Now I build custom like fuel tanks, pretty much aluminum TIG,
Okay.
all night, all night.
And the reason you say all night is because you work what
I'm
shift?
on night shift. I'm
Yeah.
on night shift. Yep.
So I know that you normally start around 2, 3 o'clock till whenever.
Yeah. So like right now, most of the time we get off until like 11:40. But if we're on that overtime,
Gotcha.
2:30.
So why is it that it needs to be that shift? Like, can't they build stuff during the day?
They
Or
have a day
already do
shift,
it?
and I
Oh.
was actually on day shift when I first got hired.
Okay.
And then I switched.
Oh, it was your own decision.
It was my own decision.
Oh, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I switched, and now most of the time I'm in here during the day, or I'm making earrings, or
Okay.
not doing any of that, and
Yeah.
like hanging out with friends.
I know. Where I know I also saw you. I think had I met you before FabTech, or it was during FabTech?
It was FabTech, yeah.
It was FabTech?
I think in Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Orlando, correct. And how many FabTechs have you been to?
2 now.
Two?
2.
So Orlando and Chicago?
Yep.
And out of the 2 so far?
I actually loved Orlando way more.
Well,
It's a closer drive.
I was
but
gonna say.
No, but I loved Orlando way more.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
huh, you are one of the weird ones
I
that
know.
says that, because everyone's like, I just love Chicago as a whole, as a city. Restaurants, bars, and whiskeys, and
Maybe
whatever.
I would have loved it more if I could have stayed the entire time.
Oh, that's right. I remember
I had to
that
cut
you
my
had
trip
to.
short.
Yes, and I know that you're already making plans to go to Vegas, right?
Yep, I am.
Now, here you are now. Congratulations on buying your house.
Thank you.
Again, I think you said it was back in May.
Yep.
Yep. And where would you like to see your welding career in the next 5 years? Like, if you just could rob that lamp and get that wish.
I mean, obviously, I would love to work for myself
Yeah.
and be able to do like a bunch of custom jobs and like really get paid for it and stuff.
Yeah.
But I know that takes time, and a lot of people do it nowadays. But really,
So you're saying like having your own rig, your own mobile shop, and do whatever?
pretty much, I would love to like have everything at the tip of my fingers, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I know that takes a lot of money. Takes
Well,
a-
I know,
But-
and but but at least if you have a plan, or if you have an idea, that's what you want to do.
Yeah,
You can build a lot of the stuff yourself.
Pretty
you know,
much.
so
Yeah.
so that's the idea. Now, if you were to think about, I only want to stick to one or two processes, what would they be? Like if you can also, hey, I own my own shop, I can pick my own jobs, what would those be? In a perfect world, because
yeah, in a perfect world,
yeah.
I would never want to touch another trailer repair, like
Okay.
ever again.
okay.
I hate working on like when somebody's like, I have a muffler leak. Like I absolutely hate repairing mufflers.
Okay.
Like I don't mind building them from scratch and stuff, but absolutely hate. But I guess most of my things would be like somebody comes with me with an idea and we sit down and we figure it out, we sketch it out, cut it out of metal, whatever it is, a sign, a tank,
Yeah.
whatever that case might be. Mostly custom work I would like to do.
Gotcha. So,
Custom
so
work.
you really want to use your brain.
I do.
Got it. No, that's I totally get that. Now, the post, you guys know that I go left and right, back and forth, whatever. It's my show. Relax. I know that unfortunately, you being a woman, and the thing that just happened with Amber Check, and I know, have you ever encountered an uncomfortable situation being a girl?
100%. I don't really talk about it too much because
Yeah.
it's in the past. But
And I get it, and I don't want
oh
you
no,
to do
no,
all
you're
the
good.
detail.
I tell people now it doesn't matter now because it made me who I am today. It
Yeah.
made me stronger. But yeah, I mean, I've had somebody completely like inappropriately touch me just because I was such a dick, so they wanted to see if I had a dick. Yep, that's what they told me to my face.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing.
No,
because
but it's funny.
It's
like,
funny now.
It's
yeah.
like what? And then
Yeah.
I went to HR, complained, and no one else came forward, even though people saw it. And they're like, we would rather fire one girl than 5 dudes. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Oh, really? That
Yeah.
was the approach.
Yeah, that was their approach. And I've had guys like slap my ass, and I turned around and punched them in the face.
All
Because
right.
first instinct.
Yeah.
And I had to take an anger management course.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's not an eye for an eye or a chap for a face. Yeah,
It's
sorry,
like-
bad joke. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've encountered plenty of it, or I've had the snark comments where they're like, "Oh, we'll have someone else do it because we don't need a female touching this job," and I'm like, I've never messed up a job before.
See, and that's the crazy part is that you would hope that one is treated fairly the same, but not the same, because you still got to respect, that there is a female and a guy, but you just want to be, because I've seen girls where very easily they get offended with comments of guys just talking crap at the shop.
Oh yeah.
And definitely you cannot have that fragile skin.
Nope.
Because you got to be almost one of them, as long as there's also a barrier when it comes to respect my space and so on and so on. But you also got to be able to dish it and take it.
Yeah.
Because it's, and
I've seen the videos about how we shouldn't have to have a backbone. I'm like, that's not the case. You really do have to have a backbone, because
Oh, yeah.
even if you weren't there,
Yeah.
these guys are still talking shit.
Exactly. So it has nothing to do with actually a woman being there for that specific BS bullshit talks that the guys do.
In the beginning, I did not have a backbone. I
Yeah.
took everything personally. I would call my mom crying.
Oh, my Lord, yeah.
And my mom's like, you need to grow a pair. Like, she's like, you cannot take everything to heart. And then,
Yeah.
you know.
It has
then
nothing to do with you. If you were
Yeah.
not there or the other girl, they
would
were
still
going to
be
say the
talking
same
about
shit.
it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So finally, it took a few years.
Okay.
But, I mean,
But yeah, and that's good that he actually did, because definitely that's just life.
Yeah,
You're
like-
not going to change that regardless of. So you cannot be that fragile anyway. But people do have to respect, women regardless, and we are different in certain things, for sure. Now, what do you do to disconnect? For fun, the Jade stuff that is just yours and yours only, and it's not about welding or even making art, even though that's what you love.
I mean, I'll go paddleboarding on like the springs here in Ocala. Do anything with my dog, really. We'll go to
Okay.
dog parks, go bike bar hopping with the friends and stuff. But I love traveling pretty much. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, even if it's just here in Florida, like
Yeah.
go to St. Augustine.
Oh,
or
yeah.
I love St. Augustine.
And-
Go to Orlando for the day,
Okay.
just stuff like that.
Cool.
But my dog usually has to come.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
the
there's
dog-
logistics behind it.
Yeah,
and,
the dog has to come.
Got it. And what's one of the best places you've ever been to? Like, something that just connected with you that you're like, wow, this
Key
is
West is probably my favorite place to go.
Oh, really?
Here in Florida, yeah.
Huh.
I love everything about Key West.
Yeah, it is. It's a very nice island time.
It is.
It's just shorts and sandals. Now, how long have you been working for the company that making the tanks now?
Not too long, probably only about 4 or 5 months.
And again, that's all TIG, right?
Yeah, all TIG.
All TIG.
We will MIG weld baffles in, but no one sees that. So.
Okay. Now these tanks are range on from what size to what size?
Oh, like they can go like super tiny to like 75 gallons.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're huge. They can be huge or tiny.
And who is the customer base for these tanks? Where do they end up?
Honestly, I mean, we get the blueprints with the customer's name on them and stuff, but I mean, like, we go anywhere from like performance trucks and vehicles, and then it can go into like water tanks. It can go into like tractors or like overflow tanks for like coolant and power steering. So like, it's a
Gotcha.
really.
And do you still practice any of the other processes to stay relevant, or you just gonna?
I mean, in here I'll do like MIG and the stainless, but I feel like it might take a few tries, but I mean, once you got it, you kind of don't ever lose it.
Yeah, there you go. Well said. Who in the industry, even if just through social media, because social media can make anyone look like a superstar.
Pretty much.
Because you edit and you come out with the end result. Now you had 10,000 tries before that.
Yep.
So like, look, I'm an expert. But who do you like out there? Who do you watch their stuff and go like, oh wow, that's pretty cool?
A bunch of the girls. I mean, I could probably go on for hours and
Yeah.
name a bunch of them, but Barbie the welder, she's been probably my biggest influence.
Yeah,
And when I met her,
she moved to Florida. I think
Yeah.
she's on the Daytona
Daytona,
area, somewhere
yeah.
in that area.
when I met her in Orlando for the first time, I cried because
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. I was like, because she really inspired me to like really like. Before Orlando, I almost like gave up welding, and I was like, I need to find something different. And talking to her again and like actually meeting her, I was like, what am I doing?
Really? So she actually gave you some? Did you ask her, or was the conversation happen where she encouraged you, or you just, oh my God, I see you, you're real, and
I just talked to her about because I was so new on metal art, and I was so new. I mean, I'm newer in the industry. I've only been doing it for like 7 years now.
Yeah.
So like, and she told me about like all her stories and all her. I was like, dang, I'm not alone. Like.
yeah, no, and she does has a story,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, she's talk about overcoming a lot of things, and what she does, it is amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
incredible work.
That's another level. That's awesome. Sometimes that's all it takes. Just someone to inspire you to just, what, I want to be near that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I could name off so many of even men and women
Yeah.
in the industry that have like, it's
Cool.
like, dang, you guys are like really freaking killing it out there.
Yeah, you are. They are, and that's true. Now, have you ever thought about making sizable art? Meaning, do you want to stay on the smaller spectrum of the art pieces that you make, or do you think you can scale up to a?
No, I definitely want to like adventure out and make like a life-size piece.
Yeah.
I really do. Not sure what that piece will be, but I mean, I've made like the 7-foot flower, and then I've made like the 7-foot Grinch, but they weren't like really detailed pieces. They were just the flower was like someone.
Have you ever heard of a scrap fest?
Yeah, I love watching those videos at Scrapfest.
You might want to see, try and get in and just have a piece or two.
It's just such a long thing of like what I have to do and working a full-time job.
I know,
Yeah.
because you already take personal time. Let's say for a show like FabTech, right? So any other thing would be even more personal time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the tricky part. But if you ever think about, even if it's just a day going there, Lansing, Michigan.
Yeah, usually it's around like my birthday time in July when it actually
Yeah,
is going
I was
on.
just there for the first time because Johnny Snyder kept mentioning it, and I'm like, all right, I'll go. And then I went. I'm like, wow, this is actually
Yeah.
pretty cool. Ivan, Iller's there, and all these other which is another amazing guy. the stuff he makes. But yeah, so no, that's cool. If you ever get a chance to just go
I
see
definitely want to
it,
make a trip up there.
you will be impressed. And but I want to thank you, Jade, for always being open to just having a conversation, and also for pushing the welding industry, for being in the welding industry as a whole, because it's very needed to have that younger generation come in and having women as part of it, and not just because you're a woman, just the younger generation, because I don't want to make it seem like it's the only thing needed just to have the college poster, like
Yeah.
it's inclusive, but we need to anyway. But I like I think the backbone that you built now, your personality, I think you have it. And I
Yeah.
think definitely, I don't know how you were back then, but the woman I see now, I can see definitely what you mean, and that you can take it
Yeah.
and you can dish it. So that's the only way you're going to make it. And kudos to you. Congratulations. I hope to see you again. I know I will see you again
Yeah.
more and more, because now this is kind of one of my usual stops. Every time I'm driving through Ocala, we'll have lunch.
Yep.
And then I know I'll see you at FabTech.
Yeah.
Lastly, are you involved with any AWS sections or anything like that?
I'm not. I've been trying
Do
to.
you know if there's even one nearby?
Yeah, there is one. I've talked to a few people that are like actually on it, but the problem is their things are at night, and I work night shift, so it's like
Yeah.
I can't ever like make a meeting, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, there's a couple of things happening in the Orlando one. And the Orlando one does things like on Saturdays every so often.
I have been seeing those posts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll let you know, because we're planning something. I'm part of the South Florida section,
Okay.
which is Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and so on. But knowing Jason Becker,
Yeah.
and he does things every so often, and we're planning some other stuff. So I'll let you know, because
Yeah, because I'll come
it's
down.
cool. Yeah.
I finally met Jason, this Fab Tech.
Yeah?
Yeah, super cool guy.
Yeah, he is. He knows his shit too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, for sure. I just make shit up. Yeah, I just talk for a living. Yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you again, Jade, for
of course.
giving me the time of sitting here at your house. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys learned something about Jade and the industry, another female young welder in the industry. Very, very needed. And you guys know how these work. If they keep saying yes, who am I to say no? I'll see you on the next one with somebody else somewhere else, because that's what we do. Take care.